Hello everyone, welcome to Advanced Knowledge System and a warm welcome to AKS IAS Academy, which is one of the premier institutions in India, and it offers examination coaching for UPSC CSE, State Public Service Commission, SSC Combined Graduate Level Exam and CLAT examination. And about me, I am Sandeep Bhushan and my credentials are I have 10 years of teaching experience for civil services. I take up international relations and internal security and the analysis of the Hindu newspaper. And this session will certainly be helpful for you all because I would be emphasizing on the keywords and the key phrases from the newspaper wherein we will identify the factual, analytical and conceptual questions for the preliminary examination, and you, by imbibing the keywords and the key phrases in your answers for the mains examinations would be precise and concise, and certainly you will score higher marks in the UPSC mains examination. So therefore this session will certainly help you to score higher marks for the mains 2020 as well as for the prelims and mains 2021. And this session is in regards to the daily news analysis, that is DNA of the Hindu newspaper of today's, that is 26th of December 2020. And before we get into the DNA, we would focus at the quote of the day, and the quote of the day says that your future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow. So get up and then make sure that you are doing something progressive today for tomorrow. Do not wait till tomorrow. So the future is created by what you do today or not tomorrow. And now we'll get into the DNA of the newspaper, that is the Hindu. And the government has come up in regards to the vaccine rollout, and in regards to the vaccine rollout they have identified 4 states which the dry run would take up in the next week, that is in the December last week and the first week of January. The government has decided, and the Union Health Ministry is certainly gearing up for the rollout of the COVID-19 vaccine across the country. And initially it has started with the 4 states which would be part of the dry run from the next week. And these 4 states which are part of the dry run, which the Union Health Ministry has brought the entire machinery into the access for the COVID-19 vaccine across the country, is Andhra Pradesh, Assam, Gujarat and Punjab. And these 4 states have been selected considering the geographical location. Considering the geographical location of India, Andhra Pradesh, Assam, Gujarat and Punjab have been selected. And each state will have or will plan 2 districts for the vaccine, COVID-19 vaccine rollout. And in the 2 districts it will preferably be in 5 different sessions or type of sessions would take place. That is, it would be in the district hospitals or the PHCs, that is public health centers, urban site or private health facility and rural outreach. So the plan of rollout or the dry run will be in 4 states across the country, and it will be in 2 districts they will be planning, and they would be planning in 5 session types. And this mock drill or the dry run will include the concurrent monitoring and review of the block and district levels, and also they will come up with the preparation of the feedback, and that feedback will be shared with the states and the Union Health Ministry. So this is in regards to the concurrent monitoring and reviewing at the block and district levels. And this will be go ahead with the dry run, go ahead with the testing of linkages. And the ministry has said that the exercise, that is the dry run or the mock drill, would enable the end-to-end mobilization and testing of COVID-19 vaccine process. So it will go ahead with enabling end-to-end mobilization and testing of the COVID-19 vaccination process, and it will also check the usage of COVID in the field environment. Along with that, the exercise of the dry run will also get into the mode of linkaging between the planning, implementation and reporting mechanism. And this exercise or the dry run will also identify challenges and will certainly guide the actual implementation, including the improvements of the process of the dry run for administering of the COVID-19 vaccines across this country in 4 states. And these linkages, that is the exercise of the dry run, will also include various activities from the data entries in COVID to vaccine receipt, and also the allocation of deployment of team members, mock drills of session sites with test beneficiaries, so that all can be reported by the evening or in the evening meeting. And this dry run or the test run will also include testing for cold storage and transportation arrangements for the vaccine, and it will also include the management of crowds with proper physical distancing. So there are various testing linkages which are part of the exercise of the Union Health Ministry, which is in the mode of getting into the process of the dry run or the entire test run in the next week. And the important focus of the dry run by the Union Health Ministry is on the management of any possible adverse events following immunization. So it is called as AEFI, that is any possible adverse events following immunization. Adverse events following immunization is the most important focus by the Union Health Ministry in regards to the dry run. And the entire process will also have the addition of checking the adherence and management of infection control practices at the sites, so that they would be preventing disease transmission. And there would be an administration. That administration is called as National Expert Group on Vaccine Administration of COVID-19. And this COVID-19 administration, which is a National Expert Group on Vaccine Administration, has recommended 3 prioritized population for the administering of vaccine in the entire dry run. That is, it would be including the healthcare workers, about 1 crore, and then the second priority population group is the frontline workers, about 2 crore people, and the third is the prioritized age group, which is about 27 crore. So all 1 and then 3 and then 27, so almost close to 30 crore people are the one which has been recommended as the prioritized population group to be administered by the COVID-19 vaccine, which is recommended by National Expert Group on Vaccine Administration of COVID-19. So here the keyword is NEGVAC is the keyword. And the ministry has also added that the vaccines are temperature sensitive, so that they have to be stored in a specific temperature. And the Union Health Ministry has also prepared a detailed checklist, and this detailed checklist will be shared with the 4 states, so that they would be guiding the 4 states and the entire district and block level, so that they would be appropriate in functioning, and there would be not any kind of possible adverse events following the immunization in the entire dry run. So this is the dry run which the exercise will be taken up by the Union Health Ministry, and this you can add it, all the dry run or this testing linkages, you can add it part of your short notes for the mains examination. So the keyword here is testing linkages is a keyword which you can add it for the mains examination. How the dry run would focus the block and the district levels of preparation and feedback, and this would be a concurrent monitoring and review from both the block and district levels, so that again further it would be providing the information. It would be providing the information to the the reports to the beneficiaries of the reports to the Union Health Ministry. And the new strain which has been identified in the Britain, So this is the next news what we are discussing now, and this new mutant strain of virus which has been detected or identified in Britain now will be studied at Savai Mansingh Government Hospital in Rajasthan, and there the mutant strain will be studied for genetic sequencing, and they would be testing the spike protein, how the spike protein would be the real cause for the spread of the virus. And this Savai Mansingh Government Hospital is the biggest hospital in Rajasthan and is developing the study facilities at the state of the art microbiology laboratory. And this state of the art microbiology laboratory, that is at Savai Mansingh Government Hospital, will obtain the samples for the study, wherein they have identified from the patients who have returned from Britain and also various other European countries who have been tested positive, and they have been tested positive by investigation, that is through the RT-PCR test. So the Savai Mansingh Government Hospital, which is the state of the art microbiology laboratory, will get into the mode of studying the genetic sequencing and the spike protein of the new mutant strain of the SARS-CoV-2 virus. And the Chief Minister of Rajasthan, Ashok Gehlot, has said that the new variant, that is the mutant strain, which is being detected in Britain, is also now been detected in Austria, France and Belgium. And he made it very clear that the new variant of virus could spread 70% faster than this earlier one. And he has called, or he wanted all the people to take precautionary measures to avoid infection or to spread the infection more sporadically, and he wanted people to adhere to the protocols of wearing masks and maintaining social distancing. And this Savai Mansingh Government Hospital in Jaipur is the first medical institution to use hydroxychloroquine and the anti-HIV drugs and lopinavir and ritonavir in the first few COVID-19 patients earlier, and which has resulted positive on the SARS-CoV-2 virus patients. And all these drugs which have been used for the first time by the Savai Mansingh Government Hospital, that is hydroxychloroquine, anti-HIV drugs, lopinavir and ritonavir, are now the part of solidarity trial by the World Health Organization. So Savai Mansingh Government Hospital now will study the genetic sequencing, and they would be testing the spike protein. And the another news what we would be focusing is the data from Chandrayaan2. Data from Chandrayaan2 has been released, and this data from Chandrayaan2, which has been released from by ISRO, is the first set of data which has been identified by ISRO, that is Indian Space Research Organization, has released the first set of data, that is from the countries, that is India's second mission which has been sent to the moon, that is Chandrayaan2, for the general public. So now the general public can have access to the data from the Chandrayaan2, which is been released for the first time by ISRO. And this Chandrayaan2 has been launched on July 22nd, 2019 from Satish Dhawan Space Center at Sriharikota in Andhra Pradesh. And this Chandrayaan2 mission was India's first attempt to land on lunar surface. So this information is about the data from the Chandrayaan, and it is part of the science and technology. And the orbiter which was injected in the lunar orbit, it was injected on September 2nd, 2019. And this orbiter which is injected in the lunar orbit, it carries 8 experiments, and these 8 experiments would address to the many open questions about the lunar science. which the orbiter data which is been sent will address to the or will have solution to the many open questions on lunar science. And ISRO has said that all the experiments have been performing well, and the data which is received is suggested to be excellent capability, so that it would be answering many open questions about lunar science. And this data which is been released by the ISRO has to be reviewed, and this will be reviewed by the peer group, that is by the scientist. And the data which is now released by ISRO, which is the public data, the data archived, or that particular data is now archived in the Indian Space Science Data Center, which is in Bailalu near Bengaluru. And this public data which is in or which is at the Indian Space Science Data Center is prepared, or the entire public data is prepared in the standard which is globally followed. So the globally followed standards are being taken into consideration to prepare the public data at Indian Space Science Data Center, which is globally followed standards by the PDS4, that is Planetary Data System 4 format, and this format is the globally followed, that is called as PDS4 format. And the Indian Space Science Data Center, which is in Bailalu, which the data is actually archived, is the nodal center for the Planetary Data Archive for the planetary mission of the ISRO. So the ISSDC is the nodal center of the entire planetary data archive, which is globally followed standard, that is in the format called as Planetary Data System PDS4. And the Chandrayaan2 data are required, or this entire data is required to be in the PDS4 format, that is the Planetary Data System 4 standard, and they are required to be reviewed peerly, that is scientifically and technically they have to be reviewed before it is accepted by the planetary data system, and then later on it will be declared ready to be shared with the global scientific community and also to the general public. So before it is shared with the global scientific community and the public or general public, it would be reviewed by its peer group scientifically and technically, which the data is stored in the Planetary Data System 4 standard or format, which is globally followed standard. And this activity, that is sharing of the information with the global scientific community and the general public, will be completed, and hence the first set of data from the Chandrayaan-2 mission is now being released for the wider public use through a portal called as Pradhan Portal. So this is a keyword for the UPSC prelims perspective, and which could be part or which can be part of your short note for the mains examination, that the entire data which is stored in the Planetary Data System 4 operating system or the standard which is globally followed will be released for the wider public use through a portal called as Pradhan Portal, and which is hosted by the ISSDC. So Pradhan Portal is hosted by Indian Space Science Data Center, and the ISRO Science Data Archive, that is ISDA, now currently holds the entire data sets which are acquired by the Chandrayaan-2 payloads. So the data which is received by the Chandrayaan-2 payloads is now holding the data with the ISRO Science Data Archive, right from the information which is been sent or acquired by the Chandrayaan-2 payloads from September 2019 to February 2020. From 7 instruments are now holded. The data is holded by the ISRO Science Data Archive, and third mission is underway. So ISRO chairman that is K7, has said that the work is on the Chandrayaan-3 mission, the third mission, and then the third mission comprises of lander and rover, which is also in progress. But the chairman K7 has made it very clear that they haven't still fixed the schedule for the Chandrayaan-3 launch. And ISRO, which has planned the landing of the Chandrayaan-2 mission on the south pole of the on the lunar surface, that is the lander Vikram, which has crash landed or hard landed on September 2019. But please do understand, here we are talking of the lander Vikram, but its orbiter is still in the lunar orbit, and this orbiter still has a mission life of 7 years. So this information is crucial information for preliminary as well as mains perspective. So we are focused in regards to the data which is released by ISRO, the first set of data for the general public and for also for the scientific community, which will be launched or which is launched, and the data is now with the Planetary data system for format with the Indian Space Science Data Center, which is in Bailalu in Bengaluru, and this will be shared for the public through the portal called as Pradhan Portal, which is hosted by the Indian Space Science Data Center. And now we will look at the another news which we would be focusing on the post-Brexit trade deal. And this Brexit, that is UK has moved out of the European Union, that is Brexit. We know that it has started, the initiation has started in the year 2016, and now the UK has gone ahead with sending the entire data of moving out of the European Union, and that now the European Union envoys are assessing the data, that is the ambassadors of European Unions, that is 27 nations which have convened or they have met on the Christmas Day, that is 25th December 2020. They are met to assess the free trade deal. This is a free trade deal. This is a keyword. So the free trade deal, the bloc, that is the European Union bloc, has struck with the UK, that is Britain, is an historic accord between UK and European Union bloc, that is 27 nations, and the European Union delegation has asked for more time to study the text, that is the deal, which is the free trade deal between the Britain and European Union, and the European Union delegations wanted more time, or they're bargaining more time to study this text before they would send them to the lawmakers lawmakers to the European Parliament. So before they send the data or the text to the European Parliament, the European Union delegation would wish to have or to study the text, and they would want more time to study the text of the free trade deal. And the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has hailed that the agreement which was on 24th December 2020 is a new beginning for UK in its relationship with European Union neighbors, that is European Union bloc, that is with the 27 nations. And Mr. Johnson has also said that the Brexit related wrangling which was going ahead or which was continued since the time the UK has left the European Union in 2016 has come up with the Thursday's agreement, that is on 24th December 2020, and it states that it is a new beginning in the relationship between UK and the European neighbors. And UK has formally left the bloc on January 31st 2020. It has left the European Union, that is through the Brexit, which has UK has voted narrowly in favor of UK to leave the European Union, that is called Brexit, on or in the year 2016, but formally it has left on January 31st 2020. but it remained in a transition period tied up with the European Union rules until the end of 2020, that is up till December 31st 2020. It will still be tied up, that is UK will be tied up in regards to the trade deals with European Union rules till December 31st 2020. And this deal now, that is the new deal which has been formally made, that UK will move out of the European Union, will certainly give the businesses and the travelers and all the investors a new certainty, to all of them and to all the friends and partners in the European Union. That is what Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister of Britain or UK, has made or said, that this agreement is a new beginning for UK and with the neighboring or European neighboring countries. And under this deal, there will be no tariff or quotas on trade between two sides. That is the benefit what UK or the Britain would actually get into the mode. And there will have to, the firms which are in UK will have to file the forms and custom declarations. And there will also be different rules on product labeling, and there will also be different rules on checks on agricultural products. So definitely there will be a different rules for the product labeling and also on the agricultural products. And European Union, as per this new deal, will give up a quarter of the quota it catches in UK waters. So in regards to the fishing, the European Union will leave a quarter of its quota of UK waters. Initially, UK or Britain was demanding 80% of UK waters for its quota to be given up by the European Union, but European Union has said that it will only give up a quarter of the quota, and this system will be phased out over 5.5 years, that wherein UK will get quarter of the quota, so that it will go ahead with using the UK waters. And the French government has announced aid for its fishing industry to help deal with the smaller quota, wherein European Union will have part of the rest of the 75% quota. French government has announced the aid for fishing industry, its fishing industry, and that is for this deal protects the French interest. So these are the new beginnings which the UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson has said, that under this deal there will be no tariffs or quotas. They will have to file forms and custom declaration. There will also be different rules for product labeling and agriculture products, and the European Union will give up quarter of the quota it catches in the UK waters. So these are the important text or the free trade deal between UK or Britain and the European Union's 27 nations. And now this is a new beginning for UK in regards to the Brexit trade deal. And now we will look at the recapitulation of the DNA what we have discussed. So this is in regards to the Dryrun which we have looked at, and this is very useful because as per the Dryrun you can take those points as a short notes for the mains examination. And this new mutant will be now studied in the Savai Mansingh Government Hospital in Jaipur, that is in Rajasthan. And they will be studying the new mutant strain in regards to the genetic sequencing, and they would be testing the spike protein. And the data which has been released by the ISRO for the public purpose now will be for the public purpose and also for scientific community also, and this will be based on global standards. So this is in regards to the science and technology, which will be a prominent information because Chandrayaan2 and the third mission is also almost ready, but it is in the process. The schedule is not still declared by the ISRO chairman K. Sivan, and this is in regards to the world economy. This is the information what we have discussed is in regards to world economy, that is part of the Brexit between UK and European Union, between European Union bloc, that is 27 nations. So this is the recapitulation of DNA, and we have discussed at length in regards to mains and also prelims perspective. So I hope this is an informative and knowledgeable session for you all, and I would say a big thank you and a good luck to you all. Do maintain consistency, stick to your schedule, and take care of your physical health and mental health. And then do not forget to like the video, share the video, and subscribe the AKS IAS English Medium YouTube channel, and also have access to the website and sign in to the Telegram link of AKS, that is Advanced Knowledge System. So I would come up with the DNA again tomorrow. So till then, goodbye and then take care. Thank you very much.